and most vulnerable ones. Sometimes they get into depression also. So let us follow this example of the sunflower trait, supporting and empowering each other, especially during these dark days of corona pandemic. Wishing everyone a sunflower trait during and turning towards each other during the cloudy days. Coming to the meeting part, it's also time for me to enlighten you all with the mission of the Toastmasters Club. The mission of every Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and a positive learning experience in such a way that the members are empowered to improve their leadership qualities and their personal growth, resulting in greater confidence and self-development. Here are a few ground rules for today's meeting. Kindly keep your mobile phones on the silent mode. Do not talk about taboo topics such as sex, religion, or politics. Please sit in a silent atmosphere so that you can hear what the speaker is speaking. Kindly remain on mute until it is your turn to speak, when you can really unmute yourself. And if you have any message to be passed on, you can please use the chat box below. With this, it is now time for me to hand over the control to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranju. Let me tell you all a few words about him. Toastmaster Ranju is currently serving as the president of our club, and he's a very passionate and energetic Toastmaster who is working with Asian Paints. With these words, I invite you, Toastmaster Ranju, to please take over. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, ma'am, for that address. And I would like to formally welcome each one of you to this special meeting number 775 of Chennai Toastmasters, and I declare it open. So this has been like a mixed day actually, because of the news of DTM Janaki Patnaik. Actually, I would like to say a few words before we observe a minute of silence with for him. So he was a Toastmaster since January 1992. He was a senior most active member of District 41. He served District 41 as area governor in 2012-13 and division governor in 2013-14. An Indian Navy veteran, a good friend, and a Toastmaster. Janaki Patnaik was the backbone for many of our clubs in Odisha and other parts of District 41. He was instrumental in training 100 tribal students at KISS, aided by American Center, and was active towards various socio-political causes. Janaki Patnaik was a mentor to many of the Toastmasters, both within District 41 and outside. He has been sharing some fond memories and learning new things, and was lucky to attend club meetings. Janaki Patnaik, DTM, we will be missing you, and together with all of us at CTM, I express our sincerest condolences to his family. May his soul rest in peace. And I would like all of us to observe 1 minute of silence for his memories. Thank you all. So with this, I would like to continue with our meeting. So we have one guest with us today. He is Vivek. Guest Vivek, are you there? Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you please introduce yourself and what do you look forward in this meeting?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the warm welcome, Ranju. I'm Vivek Cherian, and I work as a lead solution architect for a US-based software product company called Moxtra. Okay. I have been into public speaking back in college days and all that, but then I've been out of touch with it. So, I'm looking forward to getting back, and into, I've heard about Toastmasters, just looking forward to network with all of you, learn public speaking, and, have a wonderful experience with all of you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And
Thank you.
you will have a great meeting. We'll look forward to your feedback at the end also.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ranju.
Guest Krishna, you are there?
Yes, Ranju, I'm here.
Yes. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you look forward?
Yes, certainly. Yesterday, it was a meeting where I attended downtown as a guest. And today I see a lot of familiar faces, Venu, Nadira, Aishwarya, Abhilash. We had an excellent meeting yesterday, and this is the first meeting for me at CTM today. Yesterday, it was a little nervous. I didn't know what to expect of Toastmaster. Today, I'm a little prepared, kind of. And I'm an advocate by profession.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to join Toastmasters and grow myself.
Great.
Thank you.
Since you're prepared, I hope the table topic master can take a note.
Certainly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you both of you for joining us today. Yeah. So this is actually a special moment. This 775th mile, it's not like we are not calling it a milestone, but still it's a special meeting for us. And we have some special sessions coming up in this meeting. And I don't want to delay it further. So without further ado, I am handing over the controls to our very popular Toastmaster of the day, who is none other than our current Vice President Education as well. Handing over to Toastmaster Abhilash for a wonderful meeting, and over to you. See you all at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those warm words of introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today we celebrate our 775th meeting, and as usual, we become the first club in our district to celebrate this significant achievement. So the theme that I have chosen for today is CTM Express, Platform 7 3/4, Scripting History. Perhaps to those of you who are familiar with the Harry Potter series, the most defining part of the series was when a young Harry Potter stepped onto that platform 9 3/4, and that was the beginning of a magical journey that transformed his life. He would go on to do great things, but yet all these things started with this magical train journey. Coming back very often in real life as well, I find train journeys to be oddly satisfying and magical. Running through the countryside of southern Tamil Nadu and in Kerala, as we journey along, one truly feels magical gazing around at the scenery. This feeling cannot be described in mere words. It is a feeling which leaves you wanting for more. So, be it this Harry Potter series or the real life train journeys, it is not without cause that they say that the journey itself is much more important than the destination. For without this journey and the feelings that we have as we traverse along this journey, the destination loses its relevance. And in that aspect, I am sure that I speak for each of us CTM members here when I say that here in CTM, we will cherish forever that magical moment that we joined here and that magical moment as we continue our journey. Let me take you through the 3 segments of a Toastmasters meeting for the benefit of all our guests who have come. Akin to a train journey, when we start a train journey, we will be reserved, we'll be sitting down, and much of the landscape that is around will already seem familiar since we are just starting our train journey. Similar to that, today, the first segment of a Toastmaster meeting will have prepared speeches where we will have speakers who have already prepared their speeches in line with predefined objectives, deliver their speeches. As the train journey moves on, we loosen up, we make some new friends, we gaze out at the countryside, and what effectively happens is we move along more freely and unleash the creativity. And in that aspect, the second segment of a Toastmasters meeting will be our table topics segment. Finally, as we reach the end of a train journey, it is something of a nostalgic moment where we will be recollecting the things that happened on the journey and wanting for more. Similarly, the third segment of a Toastmasters meeting is the evaluation segment, where we will be evaluating the entire meeting, where we could have done well and where we could have done better. Today, being a special meeting, we do have a few surprises lined up. But before that, let us hear from our ticket collector for the day, our TTE, our general evaluator, who will tell us the criteria for us to continue on this journey today. Our general evaluator, our TTE for today, is Toastmaster Abhirami. To say a few words about Toastmaster Abhirami, Toastmaster Abhirami is currently working as Assistant Vice President of Controls at Barclays Bank and is a chartered accountant by profession. She's been here in Toastmasters for a little over 2 to 2.5 years. She's the current Vice President Membership and the Vice President Education elect for our club. When I asked her what was her most cherished memory in CTM, she told me, I could have won the VPM and now I am the VPE. But for me, what will always remain in memory is that standing ovation that I got when I delivered my first icebreaker. That redefined public speaking and started a magical bond. With these, let us hear from our general evaluator for today. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhirami.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash, for the very warm introduction. I think in the history of Chennai Toastmasters, I'm the first ticket collector for the meeting. It makes me very proud. Thank you. So now, on to the general evaluator role. Talking about life at school, I always used to think that getting the first mark or becoming the best is what really mattered. There was this focus on becoming the best and onto the rat race, going on to the next level, that was there all through till I finished my CA course. But after I started living reality, coming into the real life after education, I realized that trying to achieve perfection, mastery, or titles, yes, they're part of the game, but it's a never ending game that keeps going on. Each of us here in reality are trying to just become better than what we are yesterday. So here at Toastmasters, what are we trying to do? Becoming slightly better than yesterday. Today, as part of my primary responsibility, I'm here to give you a wholesome and complete evaluation. So what is this evaluation? It's more of a feedback on how you can make it better for the next week. To support me in my endeavor, I have two teams. The first team being the TAG team. TAG here stands for Timer, R Counter, and Grammarian. Let me first call upon the first team to brief you all on their roles and responsibilities, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Srijit. To talk a few words about him, he joined us recently in the last couple of months and he's a very active Toastmaster. And he's won the elections for the treasurer post for the coming XCOM. And on the professional side, he's a mainframe developer at L&T Infotech. And one interesting thing about him is whenever you ask him for a photograph, you will always see Srijit with a cycle. The cycle may be red, it may be black, but yeah, you'll always see a cycle. So if you see a cycle, that is Toastmaster Srijit. Yes, he's a passionate cycler, a Hot Wheels racer. Yeah. So with this amount of detailed introduction, I think I'm overdoing the time on the introduction piece. Over to you, the timer, Toastmaster Srijit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhirami, for this very warm welcome. You can see a cycle here too, if you look closely. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm the timer for today. Leo Tolstoy once said that the two most powerful warriors is patience and time. Here at Toastmasters, we have a lot of the former, but we have very rationed amounts of the latter. So it's my responsibility to look over the proceedings and watch the time. As my responsibility, it's also my responsibility to alert the timers, alert the speakers about their respective, where they stand with respect to their timings. So at the initial limit of the stipulated time, I would flash my green card. At the halfway point of the stipulated range of time, I would flash my yellow card. At the end of the stipulated range of time, I would flash my red card. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster Abhirami.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srijit. Next, we will have Toastmaster Satyaraj to brief on his responsibilities as the R counter. Now, to tell a few words about Toastmaster Satyaraj, he's been with the club for the last year and he's the ExCom elect for Sergeant at Arms for the upcoming term. In terms of his professional experience, Toastmaster Satyaraj is a senior software engineer at iTech Universal. And there's one interesting thing about him. He's into natural farming. So if you are looking for skills to build, if you're going to set up your own farm, then you should talk to a man who's a software engineer and a natural farmer. Over to you, Toastmaster Satyaraj.
Thank you, Abhirami. Good evening, Toastmaster and guest. The purpose of our counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a scratch or pass of fillers by anyone who speaks. During this meeting, I will listen for overused words including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen the fast for filler sounds including ha, her. I will also note when the speaker repeat a word or pairs such as I, or this means and this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of time that speaker used these expressions. Thank you. Over to you, General Elevator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satyaraj. Next, we will have the grammarian for the day, briefing on his roles and responsibilities. He's none other than our Toastmaster Rohit. I'm sure all of you are having his icebreaker that he delivered the last week fresh in your mind, but still, to introduce about him, he is a fund manager at Sundaram Mutual Funds, and he's got over 2 decades of experience in stock market. Now, being the VP membership for the first time when I was trying to introduce him to the group, I didn't realize that he has over 2 decades of experience. When I was talking to him, I was thinking he's a fresher, and it's only when I got the intro I realized he has so much of experience. In CTM, there is so much of talent, and sometimes you never realize it. So be open, look for talent. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohit.
Thank you, General Evaluator Abhirami, for the warm word. So today, as a grammarian, my role is to listen to all the speeches carefully and to note down good usages and not so good usages of English. And I will submit my report towards the end of the meeting when called upon by the General Evaluator. As a grammarian, it's also my role to introduce word of the day. Today, word of the day is incendiary. The word incendiary means something that causes fire. Now, you can cause fire. Now you can cause fire through a matchstick. So a matchstick can be an incendiary device, or a bomb. That's an incendiary device. Or you can cause fire using speech. So sorry, I'm getting messages that audio is not clear. Just give me 1 second. Hi, is this better audio? Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So today's word of the day is incendiary. Incendiary means something that causes fire. Now, you can cause fire by a matchstick. So matchstick is also an incendiary device, or a bomb. That's also an incendiary device. You can cause fire with your words. So incendiary, you can have an incendiary words and incendiary speech. Or you can cause fire in food also with an incendiary chili. So I'll note down the usage of the word of the day, and I encourage you to use the word incendiary in the meeting today. And I will also present a report on the number of times members have used this word towards the end of the meeting. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit. Now, next, I think the next team who will be supporting me on my endeavor today will be the set of evaluators whom I'll be introducing at the later part of the meeting, post which I'll be submitting my general evaluators report. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhilash.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for the detailed session. Moving on, an Indian cliche in every train journey. You will have an unknown person give you biscuits and try to be friends with you. And in that spirit of fun, today we have a special game session going to be conducted by Toastmaster Vratika. To tell you all a few words about Toastmaster Vratika, she's a hardware engineer working with Siemens. I'm not sure I spelled this correctly. She loves playing ukulele as a hobby. You can tell us what that means when you take up. She's the current secretary-elect of Chennai Toastmasters. And speaking of her wonderful memory, her icebreaker when she opened up to the club without any reservations, that gave her a sense of identity with the club was what she told me. Over to you, Toastmaster Pratika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhilash, for such an incendiary introduction. Let me just share my screen. Please let me know when it is visible. And of course, the ukulele, it's a mini version of a guitar. And similarly, here in this game, we would be experiencing a mini version of our table topic session. The game is called Guess the Idiom. The rules are quite simple. There'll be a picture displayed on the screen. I'll call a person at random. You need to guess which idiom does the picture represent, and you have to use it in a sentence. They are very simple idioms that we use in day-to-day lives. So let us move on to our first idiom. Yup. Is there any volunteer who would like to guess the idiom?
Yes. Yes.
Break a leg.
Hello. Yes.
Yes, Toastmaster. Yes,
can you
distinguished
hear-
Toastmaster Abraham. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'll break your bonds. I'll break your bonds if you don't come on time to CTM. I have been telling this for quite some time. Thank you. Out to you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So it's quite similar. It's break a leg, and it means to wish someone luck for their journey ahead or for some other project that they're taking up. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Mugil. Are you there?
Yes, Toastmaster.
So the next picture is this.
All years. I was all ears when she was narrating a story. So all ears means to be all attentive and keenly listening.
Fabulous, fabulous. Great job. It's being all ears. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Srikanth Kuttikrishnan.
Yes, Pratika, I'm here.
Hello, sir. The next picture is this.
Icing on the cake?
You're quite there. It's quite similar.
Or the best thing to put in a cake is your teeth.
Have the cake and eat it too.
Yes, you can have the cake and eat it.
It's me, Deepak.
Yes, Toastmaster Deepak.
It's a piece of cake.
Correct, correct. Yes. Would you like to use it in a sentence?
Yeah, it's a piece of cake to deliver a speech here today.
Ah, I see. Good job, good job. A piece of cake, correct. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Rohit.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the idiom. Is it visible?
It's visible. Oh, I'm trying to figure out what it is. Spilling all the beans.
Correct, correct.
Spilling the beans.
Could you use it in a sentence?
The sentence. I told my friend a secret, but he spilled the beans in front of all.
Great, great, nice. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Nadira Fairs, our area director. Are you there? Toastmaster Nadira, are you there?
Can I go for it?
Yes, sure. Could you please tell your name? I couldn't recognize.
Vardarajan.
DTM Varadarajan.
Yes. Hello, distinguished Toastmaster Vardarajan. Next is this. So just to give a hint.
Yeah.
This is a person who's trying to steal something. Can you guess what is he stealing?
I give up. I can't get it.
Okay, no issues, sir.
Somebody can try. Somebody else can try.
Okay. I would like to call Toastmaster Venu.
Stealing the lighting or thunder.
Thunder, right.
Steal
Yes, sir. Steal
Super,
the thunder.
Yeah.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Can I make the sentence? Thanks, Venu.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Okay. Attempting this particular quiz or this idiom is like stealing the thunder for Venu.
Nice. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to call distinguished Toastmaster Neena ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am. This is the idiom.
Pouring fuel on fire or pouring oil on fire. So you
Right.
have an incendiary situation and you're making it worse. So you have your word of the day and the idiom of the day together. Thanks for the opportunity.
Fabulous, ma'am. Thank you. Next up, I would like to call Toastmaster Ashwini.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Hi. Yes, I am
Good.
there.
Yes. Our next idiom is this.
Pulling the leg.
Correct.
Yeah.
Can you use it in a sentence for all of us?
So I thought Toastmaster Vratika won't be asking me anything, but she pulled off my leg into the next question.
Great. Thank you. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Tarun.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster Vartika.
Good evening. Your next idiom is this. It's quite tricky, I have to agree.
Be a sausage?
Not sure. It's a wrap. The wrap that we eat. So the idiom is it's a wrap when we bring things to end. So could you please use it in a sentence?
Yeah. Toastmaster Vartika wrapped the speech with a fabulous idiom.
Thank you. I'm hearing all praises without even giving a speech. So that's great. With this, we come to an end of the game session. It's a wrap after all. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhilash, for giving me this opportunity. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vratika, for conducting that wonderful game session. Now, let us move on to the first segment of the day. The first segment for today is the prepared speech segment. And we have two wonderful, fabulous speakers who are waiting to give their incendiary speeches today. The first speaker up for today is Toastmaster Aishwarya. To tell you all a few words about Toastmaster Aishwarya, she is a fashion designer and stylist by profession. She's been in Toastmasters for a little over 2 years and has served our club in capacities as Sergeant at Arms and the Vice President of Public Relations. I asked her what was her most fond memory of CTM, and she told me that there was a time last year when she was the contest chair for our international speech contest, and she was battling a health issue, but she made sure that everything worked out successfully, and that was perhaps one of her most satisfying moments here in Toastmasters. Before I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Aishwarya, I request her evaluator, Toastmaster Venu, to read out her project objectives. Toastmaster Aishwarya is delivering her level 3 project 1 from the presentation mastery part. Over to you, Toastmaster Venu.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, one and all, and special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Aishwarya. As said by the TM Modi, Toastmaster Aishwarya is going to deliver the level first project, that's a persuasive speaking. The purpose of this project is to the Toastmaster to prepare the persuasive speeches and deliver one preferred persuasive speech. Today, the timer, please note that time is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venu. Toastmaster Aishwarya, wake up call. Wake up call, Toastmaster Aishwarya.
The new year brings a fresh wave in the form of COVID-19 vaccines. The vaccines made in India are totally safe, effective, and has good immunogenic response against the COVID-19 disease. So trust the vaccines made in India and do take your turn for the vaccine. Even after putting the vaccination, continue to wear a mask and maintain physical distance of 2 meters and regularly wash hands. For more information, contact the National Helpline number 1075. How many of you all are aware of this voice recording before making your first phone call for the day? Today, I am going to talk about this subject, COVID-19. You may be wondering, why is it so necessary for me to talk on the subject when you all know about it? Yes, it is a good doubt. Every one of us sets the alarm at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. to wake up. But you're very well aware that you have to wake up the next day morning at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Then, why to set an alarm call? Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is a simple wake-up call only. I am going to share a few facts about the COVID-19 disease. Starting with, the novel coronavirus has been recognized at around in December 2019 at China. And within a blink of an eye, this disease spread globally. The novel coronavirus has attacked more than 219 countries and territories. Coming to the scientific fact, there are 3 parameters to understand in order to access the magnitude and the risk posed by this novel coronavirus. Number 1, by the transmission rate, the number of newly affected people from a single case. Number 2, how dangerous is this coronavirus? Number 3, the attack or transmissibility of virus, which is the average number of people which is transmitted from a single case. As it is said by many doctors, this is a disease which makes us experience the importance of breathing. Only those patients who are tested positive and have undergone the hypoxia stage knows how serious is this disease, and they'll never forget the critical situation which they have faced. The term hypoxia means lack of oxygen content in the body. Now, this disease will further cause damage to various organs in the body, which will remain at least for 15 days, even after recovery. The novel coronavirus fatality rate, which means the death rate, has been estimated to around 2% by the WHO press conference on 29th Jan 2020. Because of these, due to strict lockdown restrictions and strict adherence to wearing of face masks, the number of cases slowly came down by the end of 2020. But nature has not let us be happy or breathe easy, because history has repeated itself within a short period of time. Yes, the second wave of COVID has started globally and even more worse in India. One day, as I was going through a magazine, I came across a caricature which depicted that Corona has April fooled us. According to a leading newspaper in India, Times of India, reported that India has recorded more than 4 lakh fresh COVID-19 cases on 30th April 2021, becoming the second country after the United States to register the grim milestone on the back of a sharp uptick in cases, particularly in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Orissa. Now, let me go back to the year 2020. We've dwelt in the so-called the new normal. We were asked to stay indoors and avoid going out, and we adapted ourselves accordingly with work from home, study from home, Zoom calls, and also binge watching series on OTT platforms. Now, what's so new in the year 2021? It is the innovation of the vaccines. You may be wondering, why is a vaccine so important? A vaccine activates our immune system in our body without making us sick. Many dangerous and infectious diseases can be prevented in this simple and effective way. As all of us are aware of the 2 vaccines which are provided in India to reduce the number of cases, that is Covaxin and Covishield. So let us see what's unique in these 2 vaccines. Covaxin is an inactivated virus which has been prepared on a tried and tested platform of dead viruses. Whereas Covishield is prepared using a viral vector platform, which is totally a different technology. However, these 2 vaccines have similar power to fight against the disease. So with these vaccines, it can help us to achieve 2 things. One, it will bring down the number of cases, and number 2 is it will bring down the mortality rate, which is the death rate. And because of these vaccines, it will help us return to a near normal life. And the research says that the vaccines are totally safe. Local side effects such as fever, body pain, and swelling are totally normal. Now, this shows that the vaccine has invoked immune response in the body, and preliminary data suggests that that immunity of the vaccines will long last at least for 6 months or maybe an year or 2. So we must take the vaccine without any negligence, and the government will not allow any unauthorized or unsafe vaccine to be administered. To conclude, if we want to get over this pandemic socially and economically, a vaccine is important. In every aspect of our life, education for our children, jobs, businesses, and healthcare services has suffered a lot because of the pandemic. And a vaccine is important if you want to go back to a normal life. So I urge everyone to go and take your turn for the vaccine without any negligence, because the ones which are provided right now are totally safe, and which we get are only the local side effects. So, on the remembrance of Labour's Day, let us help and protect our frontline workers, healthcare officers, police officers, corporation workers, and everyone who has sacrificed themselves just for us right from 2020. So let us make a promise to follow the rules of the government given for both lockdown and vaccination, and cooperate with these frontline workers and make this place a better one. Thank you, and back to you, everybody.
Thank you. Give me just a minute. Yeah. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster Aishwarya, for having highlighted us on a very contemporary topic of importance regarding the importance of vaccination. Moving on now, we have our second speaker all fired up for today. Our second speaker for today is Toastmaster Deepak, who is delivering his level 2 project 1 from presentation mastery. To tell you all a few words about Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Deepak is a project manager at L&T Technological Services. He likes cooking and wildlife photography. His favorite memory in CTM is again the standing ovation that he received during his icebreaker, which he tells he will remember for a lifetime. Before we move to Toastmaster Deepak, let us have his evaluator, Toastmaster Vignesh, brief us on the project objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Vignesh.
Thank you, TMOD, Toastmaster Abhilash, and special thanks to my target speaker, Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmasters Deepak is doing a presentation mastery pathway in the project Understanding Your Communication Style, level 2, project 1. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. All the best to Toastmaster Deepak. Back to Toastmaster Abhilash.
Thank you, Vignesh. The time will be 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster My Way, Toastmaster Deepak. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash and evaluator. Very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Toastmasters and guests around the world. So, I accidentally told it's a piece of cake for me to deliver the speech today. However, I realized there are a lot of DTMs here. And maybe I am wrong. Please forgive me for that. So here, understanding my communication style today is my subject, and in which I have to study my own communication style, how I performed during my past and how I'm going to do it furthermore. So when I learned about the communication styles, I came across 4 different communication style given by the Toastmasters manual. 1 being the direct, 2nd initiating, 3rd supportive, and 4 is analytical. If I am a result-oriented person, a well-focused, competitive, quick and decisive decisions I make, then I will be called as a direct communicator. If I am sociable, energetic, and fun-loving, I am an initiating communicator. If I am patient, if I have patience, if I am cooperative, if I am being sympathetic to everyone, then I am a supportive communicator. And at last, if I am cautious, precise, and disciplined, and I give diplomatic answers to the interactions, then I am an analytical communicator. It is all theory. So what I have to do is I had to study what way of communication that I am doing. When I studied, to my surprise, I saw I am following almost all the categories. I follow all the communication styles. I do communicate with my customers, which I am being analytical to some of my answers. And when I am communicating with my subordinates and teammates, and I am being very supportive. And when I am communicating with my peers, I became direct because I don't want to give heads and tails in my entire message. Wherever I being very precise to what I want, and that's how I'm being very much direct. And when I'm organizing a team outing, then I'm becoming an initiating communicator. Well, so how do I come together and ensure that I am doing it properly? When I studied my way is my topic. When I studied my way of communicating, and I understand, I almost communicate 90% of my time with my subordinates and teammates. And hence, I become very much supportive in nature. And supportive is my strong strength, and being direct is my weaker portion of it. And initiating is not a cup of tea for me. So now, I'll give you an example. One of my colleagues, one of my teammates came to me. He wants to write a mail to his peers, and he wants me to write his email on behalf of him, so that since he is very much afraid to write his mail, he is afraid to write to his peers. Then I told, no, what you do, you will write your mail, I will proofread it. Either I can do that, or I can just write a mail on behalf of him. So does this actually help him grow? No, it doesn't help him grow. So what I asked him is,
ensure you write a mail, I will do the proofreading. So once I asked him to write, to my surprise, I read half a page of mail. It's a very big mail he has wrote. Then I read all the mails. Then I told, don't show any of your emotions in any email communications. Showing emotions to any email communication is not going to help, or maybe it will ensure the main essence of the mail is lost when you are writing an email. Maybe people will tend to read the emotions and miss to read the intent or the essence of the mail. So that is the suggestion I gave him, and he was able to write a clear-cut, brief email on what he needed. So this is a quick example of how I communicate with my subordinates. And well, leave it apart. And what coming to your social life, one of my servant wants to take a leave. And the maid, she asked me leave, I gave her leave. And I being very supportive in nature. And after 2 days, she took another day of leave. And it goes on. And for a continuous 10 days, I had to wash all the vessels all by myself. You know what I'm saying? Being too much supportive is not good. So you have to be direct when you want to be direct based on the situation. Well, think of it when you are in a small car accident. Forgive me, it doesn't happen to you. It should not happen to you. But for me, once I took the brand new car and I was driving down the road, one of the bikers just put a small scratch and he went away. And then I became so tensed. My face became incendio. So I immediately walked out the car and raged with fire. And I want to shout. Well, I lost my cool. So that is where I realized I should not lose my cool. So here is my own quote. Communication style may vary with people and situation. Ensure your attitude does not vary. Don't lose your cool. Stay safe. Take vaccines. Wear the mask to your nose, not to your chin. Have a good day. Back to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deepak, for elaborating on how your communication style impacts those around you. That was indeed a great speech. Now we will be moving on. So the TTE has come and gone. And using the prepared speakers, we have now crossed our familiar territory. Now the train journey progresses on. And now it is time for the most exciting session for today, our table topic session. To conduct the table topic session, we have our secretary, Toastmaster Nandakumar. He's a very senior Toastmaster and is currently working as a team lead in Cisco Systems. When I asked him what was his most favorite memory, he told me he was reminded of a similar special meeting, CTM 666, where he delivered his first speech and he got the Best Speaker Award. That was his most fond memory that he recalls. Without much ado, let us now go over to Toastmaster Nandakumar for conducting our table topic session. Toastmaster Nandakumar, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Avilash, for the fabulous introduction. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to the most important and critical segment of the meeting, table topic session. In life, we can't be always prepared, right? So there are situations where we need to tackle it impromptu. Yes, for example, you happen to bump into your CEO in elevator and he asks you what you do. You can't go blank or you can't squirm. You need to come up with some logical answer probably in a couple of seconds. That's why impromptu skills is very important in addition to your prepared speaking skills. And this table topic session purpose is to develop your impromptu speaking skills. So you'll be called upon, I will give a topic and you need to speak for at least 1 to 2 minutes on this topic. Are you ready? So let's get on with the table topic session. The first table topic speaker for today is Toastmaster Mugil. Toastmaster Mugil, say hi to everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda.
Yeah, your topic is blame your horoscope for all wrong in your life. I repeat, blame your horoscope for all wrong in your life.
a lot of us believe in horoscopes, and a lot of us spend some time reading about, okay, what could my horoscope have done, have to do with what's happening to me today? Or if you remember, if you have those little Tamil calendars in your house, you have a horoscope written against, a prediction written against your horoscope on a daily basis. And it is so easy to take up something that happens to you and put it on something as your horoscope, and believe that it is because of your horoscope that whatever is happening to you is happening to you. It's very difficult to take responsibility for what is happening to you and what you can do with what's happening to you. And a lot of times it's good to take responsibility for what's happening, and in other times, maybe in times where you really can't make sense of it, maybe it would just make sense to blame your horoscope for what's happening to you. Thank you, Toastmaster. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mugir, for a great take on a bit of complex topic. Next, I would like to welcome guest Toastmaster Puneet. Toastmaster Puneet, say hi to the group.
Hi, everyone.
So your topic is to become old and wise, first become young and stupid. I repeat, to become bold and wise, become young and stupid.
When was the last time you tried something stupid with your life? Going out on a roller coaster ride when you're really scared? Or trying out new dalgona coffee only to realize it's not dalgona and it's not even a coffee? We have all tried different things in our life. And when I look at this beautiful topic, in order to be young and wise, we need to try something stupid. And the most stupid thing which I have done in my life is putting soap solution in my father's bike. That is the most stupid thing which I have done. I thought that once you put, instead of diesel, if you put soap water, you'll get bubbles out of the exhaust. It'll be so colorful. It will be so cheerful. I did try that, but the rest is history. My father scolded me very badly. He was not able to commute to the work. But that day I learned one thing, that there's an innate engineer within me. There's an innate engineer within all Indians out here. You want to prove? Just check the time whenever the next time when you try bathing, and look how expertly you try to mix this hot water and cold water solution, unlike till you get the perfect temperature. I feel there's an engineer out there within all of us. That ability to try this wacky things is what made me join mechanical engineer in Coimbatore. And this is one thing which I have done. And of course, after joining engineering, there are a lot of stupid things which we have done, which I'm ashamed to say I should not be admitting in front of it. But I think I leave that for some other day. But having said that, fellow Toastmasters, let's make mistake, because mistakes make the man. I know my father scolded me that day for trying out wacky things, but not because he was caring for me, but he was cared for his precious bike. But having said that, we have learned through those mistakes. We have evolved through mistakes. And it's high time that we start appreciating mistakes, because mistakes make the man. And only when you make mistakes, you feel yourself as young, you feel yourself as energetic, and sometimes you feel yourself as stupid as well. But that's okay. It's only when you make stupid mistakes is the day you become smarter. Over to you, table topic master, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Puneet, for the great take on the topic. Next, I would like to call guest Vivek Cherian. Guest Vivek, please say hi to the group.
Hi.
So the topic is, before internet, there was life. I repeat, before internet, there was life. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda, for the opportunity. How many of you, when you were young, have gone fishing? How many of you have climbed a tree? How many of you have spent your holidays in a native place with your grandparents without the distraction of any of those digital gadgets? I am one of those fortunate people, because I believe I belong to something known as a generation Z, which is something between a generation X and the millennials. So we had a childhood which was predominantly analog, and then sometime later in our life, we had a digital childhood. So I'm one of those fortunate people. And so can you just repeat the topic once again? When was the last time?
Before internet, there was life.
Okay. Okay. And then sometime when I was 10 years old, I came into contact with computers. I was fascinated by it. And then, later in life, when internet came in, I was totally addicted to it. I was a mechanical engineer. I was very passionate about technology. And, I started to explore, various aspects of, the internet. And I was very addicted to it. But then, as I realized later, you need to have a work-life balance, and you need to have a balance between, I keep forgetting the topic. I'm sorry. I'm getting nervous.
Yeah. Before internet, you can talk about how life was.
Yeah. So I believe I had a life before internet. I still do have a life, but I think my life before the internet was much better.
Thank you, guest Vivek, for the great take on the topic. So next, I'd like to call Toastmaster Srikanth Krishnan. Please say hi to the group.
Good afternoon, everybody, and wish you all a very happy laughter day today.
Your topic is midlife crisis is only an excuse. I repeat, midlife crisis is only an excuse.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nanda. Midnight crisis is another word that we use for procrastination. People who literally put down things for tomorrow, when the day comes, the big day or the D-Day comes, when they have to accomplish something, they have to sit up and do the work, burning the midnight oil. Literally meaning what they could have done more efficiently, with more focus and concentration, they let go that opportunity and they start making a frantic effort to do that in the 11th hour. So procrastination is what I really mean by the word that you had said, midnight and putting up excuses. We should not do that, because the efficiency of any person to accomplish anything is always to the peak when they are in a calm state of mind and having the work in their mind, not having the target, the date and time in their mind. So we need to be focused with what we are doing, with a lot of time in our hand. And I can assure you from my personal experience that once you accomplish within the time limit that is given to you, the work that you have done and what you are putting out would be much better. And in fact, it would be the best effort that you have always done. And it could be one of the greatest happiness that brings to you. Otherwise, you are very anxious and very nervous. So procrastination is not an answer for anything that you like to accomplish. Do it right now, finish it, and enjoy the time left to you for you to complete your project or whatever it is. Thank you very much, Nanda. Toastmaster Nanda, back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srikanth, for a great take on the topic. Next, I'd like to call DTM Abraham Zakaria. DTM Abraham Zakaria, say hi to the group.
Yes. Hi.
So your topic is life feels like an exam I didn't study for. I repeat, life feels like an exam I didn't study for.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Among all of you, I would have written most exam for passing out one exam now. I have been writing exams for almost 10 years to pass out one exam. So I know the hardcore part of it and the soft side also. But I have seen my friends who passed out with great ease and who are getting ranks and getting into good jobs and settling very well. But some of them I found later that they could settle themselves. The issue was they passed out the exam given, the question papers they could answer, but the real life questions they couldn't answer. That was a struggle, but that you get only when you are part of the system. Part of the system, I meant part of the family, part of the society. So you know what is happening around. Once you get that into, then after you pass or after you settle in your life, yes, you can be a very successful person. I know one person who got first rank for IAS. He has no family. He has a lot of problems with his family also. The issue is that he was only learning, preparing for exams, not for the life. So prepare for the life and not for the job or for the money. Then you become very successful. That is your exam. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, DDM Abraham sir, for the great take on the topic. Next, I would like to call guest Krishna Bhagavat. So please say hi to the group.
Yes, good evening, Toastmasters.
Yeah, your topic is, do you need goals in life to be happy?
Do you need?
Goals in life to be happy. I repeat,
Okay.
do you need goals in life to be happy?
Okay. Well, the very first thing which I would like to say today, though I am not prepared for this very topic, but the first thing I decided as a goal was to join Toastmaster. I think that itself was a first goal for the day today, and I've accomplished that quite well till now. And any person, for that matter, we've always heard that the goals are very important to achieve something, because even when you do not have a goal, you just go astray without knowing where to go. If especially when even in any religion for that matter you take, the goal is definitely to reach God, but each religion has its own methods and ways to reach the same set of goals. That is self-realization and having sympathy to all the fellow beings. I think just to make yourself a better person, you need goals in every aspect of your life. The spirituality is only the last thing which we usually tend to take at an older age. But certainly I would suggest to all the Toastmasters, we should start having goals, not the career-oriented goals, but the spiritual goals. And definitely it's nothing to do with the religion, but to analyze and understand yourself better and to make yourself a better person for the future. Therefore, you definitely need goals in life. Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Krishna, for the fabulous take on the topic. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Geeta. Geeta, please say hi to the group.
Hello, everybody.
So your topic is, always sleep in your own bed. I repeat, always sleep in your own bed.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, once again. So the topic given to me is always sleep in your own bed. For me, this is something like, the birds, wherever the birds fly and go, finally, they have to get back to their home. Home is the safest place and the most comfortable place where we all like to be. For instance, you just go for a holiday. You go out, you enjoy, you have an amazing weekend, but then the comfort of getting back to your home and getting back to your routine is something, which we all long for before the trip really comes to an end also. We really long to come back to our own home. So this reminds me of one incident when I had to remove my daughter from her school where she was studying, and I had to put her in another school because of the distance, because I moved the home. I moved to Egmore from T Nagar. So my daughter was not able to, really accommodate herself in the new school. So which is where we went and spoke to the principal. So she gave us these amazing lines. She told my daughter that this is your home, and the birds, wherever they fly, they go back. They come back to their home. I'm sure you will finish these 9th and 10th standard comfortably in your school where right now you are studying and where your parents have moved you. And you will surely come back when you're in 11th standard to the same school, and we will be open to you. We will welcome you with a great heart. So which made these comforting words of the principal made it so comforting for my daughter that she could happily finish her 9th and 10th standard and get back to the same old school and to her same home friends. So this is one thing which we all like to be. Wherever we go, wherever we fly, however, whatever it is, finally, it is our home that gives us the peace of mind and where we feel very comfortable. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geeta, for a great take on the topic. Next, I'd like to call DTM Meena John. Please say hi to the group.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Your topic is, be happy. It always drives people crazy.
Oh, absolutely true, Toastmaster Nanda. I'm like, there was a T-shirt that I saw once. It said, "Keep smiling. Nobody knows what's happening, and they'll think it's that you're crazy, and you know what you've been up to, even if nobody else does." And I think that's the best mantra for life. Be happy, whatever happens. As somebody said, why worry? If you worry, will the problem go away? No. If you worry more, will the problem stay? No. If you stay up all night worrying about the problem, absolutely not. You are just setting fire to your worries and making an incendiary situation out of something that is just normal, or a mountain out of a molehill. So be happy. Either the worry or the problem will resolve itself if you wait long enough, or if you wait long enough, somebody else will take care of the problem. So, and this is again another attitude that I learned from a cousin of mine. I asked him, "How are you?" "Oh, I'm happy. My boss is very unhappy with me, but that's his problem, not mine." So be happy wherever you are. Do whatever you can. Keep life to a minimum, bare minimum. Enjoy what's given to you. Don't have too many expectations, and find the humor in every situation. Don't take yourself too seriously. Enjoy life. Even during Corona and COVID times, there are people, for example, there's a group that shows saris just to elevate everyone's spirits and be positive during this time. So yes, you can find positivity, you can find happiness in any situation in life, even in table topics. Back to you, table topics master.
Thank you, DTM Nina ma'am, for the fabulous take on the topic. Next, I'd like to call Area Director Nadira Fayez. Please say hi to the group. Nadira, are you present? Okay, let me move on. Next, I would like to call DTM Varadarajan. Please say hi to the group.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Am I audible?
So your topic is, yeah, you're audible. We could hear you. So your topic is, nobody is normal. We are all weird. I repeat, your topic is, nobody is normal. We are all weird.
Thank you very much, Tricky Master, especially during these times when the second wave has come and it has struck all of us in a very weird sort of a situation where we feel we are the persons who are not normal. I feel we are all normal. Instead of calling everybody abnormal or everybody weird, we should find out whether we are actually attempting to adjust to the situation. Things have changed drastically in the last say couple of weeks. Although we were all relaxing, having a nice time, gala time, all marriages, all other social functions were going great. But the insidious event happened, and then we all went back to our shell. The fire which we had, the joyous fire, suddenly doused, and so it's all about how we take that particular moment, and every moment has its own lessons. The pre-COVID had a lot of good lessons for us. During the first phase, we struggled, we fought, we came out, we were victorious. Suddenly, when we were trying to go relaxed, we all of a sudden another bombshell happened, and then we were not prepared for it, and things became topsy-turvy. Again, we are fighting. So this fight to survive, fight to make it happen, to succeed, to uh, keep things floating is what human beings are supposed to be doing, and they have been doing for millennials and generations. So nothing should stop us from coming out, fighting, and fighting successfully in any situation. So whether COVID, no COVID, I think as Nina John Madam said, we should be happy. We should thank the universe that we are still there, and we are still attending table topic session given by Nandakumar and trying to make ourselves as best as possible. And over to you, TD Master. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Varadarajan, for a fabulous take on the topic. So we have reached the end of the TT session. Hope you all enjoyed it and had a thought-provoking session. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nanda, for having conducted a fabulous TT session with all those thoughtful topics, thought-provoking topics. Now, moving on, it is time for us to have the second surprise for today. What more could we expect than a session by our founding members, distinguished Toastmasters Nina John and Abraham Zakaria. Now, before we move on to the session, let me tell you a few words of introduction. Distinguished Toastmaster Nina John is a 3-time DTM. She's a charter member of Chennai Toastmasters and was the first VP membership of our club. She's also a past district governor of the erstwhile District 82 and is the current District Leadership Committee Chair for District 120. To tell you a few words about distinguished Toastmaster Abraham Zakaria, he's a charter member and was also the charter treasurer of Chennai Toastmasters. He has served as district treasurer in the past and currently serves as District 120's parliamentarian. It is indeed a pleasure to have them both here as they talk to us on CTM. Over to you, distinguished Toastmasters Nina John and Abraham Zakaria.
Hi. Hi, Nina. Hi, DTM Nina John.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. Hello.
So go ahead.
Okay, how did you come to know about Toastmasters?
Really what you call history time. I was conducting a seminar for Madras Management Association. And at that time, I had already done lecturing or part-time lecturer at a management college. I was doing seminars and this thing. And I felt there was this need for communications training. So I was thinking of actually starting something on my own. And one gentleman who attended that seminar, he came and asked me, have you heard about Toastmasters? And I said, no. So he said, it's an international organization. This is what we do. Why don't you think about it? It sounded great because here was already an established international organization. I said, great. 3 or 4 of us got together. It became about 20 of us. And that's how we eventually chartered the club. I think Abraham can tell you a little bit more about how he came into the club.
Okay, to be very precise, on 15th November 2003, I happened to see a small note in the Hindu newspaper, Toastmasters International, improve your communication, a small note. So I heard about Toastmasters because I stayed in YMCA. They had a Toastmasters in their own way, in a very different format. So immediately I called up the person that was the first president of Chennai Toastmasters, Krishnan Arunachal. He said, hey, we have a meeting tomorrow on 16th November at Haddos Club. I said, okay, I'll come. That's how I joined. I joined to improve myself. You have joined to make others improve. That's the difference.
Thank you.
Okay. Now from Haddos Club, we moved to Ruby Hall of Presidency Club. Can you tell us how this has happened?
It's very simple because Toastmasters doesn't believe in having assets or property or whatever yourself. So you're supposed to meet in a location because we're all, we just meet once a week. We have what you call a floating population. There is absolutely no guarantee that members will be there forever. So Toastmasters specifically says you must have what we call a temporary or non-physical asset in terms of property. Now everyone says, oh, BNB doesn't have, no, not BNB, your Uber doesn't have a head office, all of those things. Toastmasters had this model far, far before that. So we said, okay, we will meet at Presidency Club because we had a member who was willing to sponsor us. And so same thing, from Haddos Club, we moved to Presidency Club. Then, of course, there was some incident somewhere else, nothing to do with us. Then they said, whoever sponsors you has to be physically there at the meeting. So for years, Aditya Maheshwaran's father, poor guy, would come and sit in the library while we had our meetings. And we said, it's absolutely unfair to do this to him. We found YWCA International Guest House and we moved there. So that's how we came to YWCA Guest House. So
what is the role of RMK, Dr. Chandrasekhar and Padmini in shaping up and adding members to Toastmasters CTM?
See, we had this big problem about getting, selling the whole idea of Toastmasters because nobody knew what it was. It was a new concept. It was an American thing. etc., etc. So therefore, we were like, we literally had to sell the idea to people or market the concept of Toastmasters. So one of the people that we managed to talk to, or it was all word of mouth. So one of the people that we had was Professor Chandrasekhar. Now he was the Dean of Academics of RMK Engineering College. He was very interested in it. His wife was an English professor. She came, his niece, Masuda. By the way, she's back in Chennai at Tambaram now. So she's there. He brought, what he did was, he told his top rankers in the different mechanical engineering and civil streams that this is an organization like this that will help you build up your communication skills. So we had a whole lot of students who joined in from RMK, and we had another Dr. Chandrasekhar, and his wife was a lecturer at RMK. So we had a whole Chandrasekhar clan out there, and lots of individuals who came one by one, and that's how the club grew.
Now it's your turn to ask me some questions.
All right, I have to go back to my homework and see that. So the question now, a lot of people, how do you think CTM shaped up the way it did? And especially I would like you to highlight or tell us something about JP's contribution. You know, we started talking about him, so as one of the leaders.
I had a great privilege of meeting JP at the first meeting. I was standing outside the club, the hall, and he came and happened to see a new face. It was very common those days. So I said, welcome to this club, usual, our marketing strategy. Then he said, I am a Toastmaster. I said, okay, great. I'm a DTM. Then he said, I'm the district direct governor. Oh, I almost fainted. Because first time we are seeing a district director from another district coming and attending our meeting. So that was one thing. Then he gave a lot of educational sessions, right from OTP informally to judging training and evaluation, and even up to parliamentary education session he has given. And he told us this is how it has to be. Till then we were having our own rules and regulations sometimes. So that was a contribution. Personally, it was a big loss for CTM and all of us, because he's the one shaped. In a way, you can say he was the architect of CTM. This is my brief observation about JP.
But as a club, do you think we've produced other leaders from CTM?
Yes. The one, Aditya Maheshwaran, is good enough to talk about CTM. Aditya Maheshwaran, imagine Aditya Maheshwaran is the first runner-up international, had his billing in Toastmasters CTM. That was good thing. Then we had ma'am yourself, that is DTM Nina John and DTM Shasta as a district governor, district director. And we have a host of division governors and area governors. That name, even I can't remember. That was and we had the outstanding speakers like Sridhar Ranganathan, Lalitha Giridhar, Rajesh Natarajan, all of them were there, because that was a time we could make others also to compete with them. That is how CTM standard has gone up. So the message is that if there is one person is good enough to make others to improve their standard, so we all look up to them. That's one reason. Another reason for CTM is we used to go for all the area and division and district programs. I think of late that is missing.
I think I was just going through the list of clubs in D120, and as CTM, the first thing that we did was, thanks to DTM Patnaik, he was working in this company called Coansys. So he started introducing the idea of Toastmasters to Coansys. We had Speechcraft over there, and then they launched the first corporate club in Coansys. So that's from where we now have DTM Jain, DTM Parthasarthi, DTM Gayatri, Satya. All these people are from that original club. Coansys, now known as DXC. From there, we started our first community club, which was Wordsmiths, which was very much Abraham's baby. And I was just checking. it was not only the fact that we built up a leadership. I think the fact that we built up this entire robust system. And one of the taglines we had was the one Abraham will tell you about, ATMs, right? Zach, what is that line?
CTM is the ATM of DTMs.
So CTM is the ATM of DTMs. And I was just checking our this thing. The other thing is that I'm really proud of is the fact that so many of our CTMers went out and set up other clubs. For example, we have in our audience today, DTM Vardharajan, who set up Rising Pillars. Similarly, we have wordsmiths set up by Abraham, medleys was set up by Shanti Swaminathan, CAT EDC, Ford, PayPal, Madras Toastmasters, KCG, CGI, CSF actually HCL. It is also set up by Priyanandan, and CSF is not just another club. When we crossed 100 members of the club, we said that is too many to handle, and that is why we split into two clubs. So CSF is actually a split from this thing. So we have HCL Speedweavers, Stanchart, Coromandel, Wipro, Chennai Articulators, Oceans, IITM. We had Kush Tripathi setting that up. Orators, Trek Mahindra, Tamarutra Club, Towering Speakers, Kilpok YMCA, North Chennai, Panimalar. Again, I think Toastmaster DTM Vardharajan had a big hand in that. And Praveen Mani is both a past member and current district director. So that makes 3 district directors from CTM itself. And 25 clubs that I can tell you directly. I don't know how many were indirect after that. So
CTM is the mother and grandmother, great grandmother, and still pregnant, isn't it? You're saying.
I don't think I would use that phraseology, but I would.
No, I said in quotes. I said in quotes. Yeah.
In quotes.
I know Toastmasters, so
I know.
I'm
So
careful
we've set
about
off generations of Toastmasters, and we're very, very happy about that. And I think from the original, I actually literally divide CTM in terms of history as Ruby Hall and after, you know. So from that thing, I think Venu Neelakantan is there, Rekha is there, all of them from the very older part of CTM. So
yeah, I remember the sandwich they serve.
yes, for the things they have. So
Okay, this CTM, always I found, I attended a few clubs, India and abroad. I found our standard is equivalent or much better than all other clubs. So where we had, how did we reach this excellence in our meeting, quality of the meeting? I'm not saying all the speakers have to be excellent or something, but if you compare, it is not the members, but the meeting assets per se is an excellent one. How we got that element in our club?
I think that's absolutely correct because, for example, I think Area Director Nadira will support me in this. She said we were trying to get other clubs to join in for our inter-club thing. And she said, like, our processes are much, much higher. We know everything. They didn't know anything. You know, she was like, oh, wow, this is what CTM is all about. And I think quite a few people who attended other clubs have pretty much the same observation. And it's just sticking to systems, sticking to processes, expecting everyone to just deliver on their best, deliver their best on any given day. And things just move smoothly. Nothing more than that. Attending as many different events as possible. These are all the things, and contributing to the Toastmaster movement in every way. These are the things that I think have helped us. Abraham, any special memories or whatever that you have about Toastmasters?
I have only memories of Toastmasters. If I write a book, my autobiography will have one part before Toastmasters and after Toastmasters. So you can say before CTM, after CTM. Okay, my memory is that, you know, I was very regular for the meetings, and those days we were having only alternate Sundays. And one Sunday after I was sleeping, I got up, get dressed up, including wearing a tie. I reached the Ruby Hall, held the handle to open it. It was not opening. Then the waiter came and said, "Sir, no meeting. There is no meeting today." Hey, then only I realized this is not the second Sunday. So that kind of enthusiasm I had for Toastmasters, and that is the biggest experience or the most interesting part of Toastmasters in my life. What about you?
Oh, I have not so much a Toastmasters meeting, but this movie Endiran, Rajnikant's big thing. Oh my God, everyone was talking about it and all. So one meeting we said, okay, we must go see it. So this girl said she stays near Satyam, she will get tickets. You will not believe it. She got tickets for a 7:30 a.m. show. So 7:30 a.m. She bought 20 tickets and she's sitting at the, on the railing over there and swinging her legs and waiting for CTM people to turn up. 17 of us turned up. We had such fun. I think we were in the first or the second row. So we got magnificent stereophonic effects of Rajnikant, Indiran and Aishwarya Rai straight into our faces. So that was fun enough as it was. Interval time, we went to get popcorn and soft drinks and things. So since there were 17 of us, I said, okay, I'll get straws for everyone. So I took one packet of straws and we headed back. Then I discovered I'm the only one using a straw. Nobody needs it. So I put it into my handbag. Movie is over. Everyone wants breakfast. We go to Sarvana Bhavan. Some problem, we couldn't have it. Somebody says, Satyam has a great restaurant. We can go there. So we went back. But to go back, you have to go past the security. So security opens my bag. She looks me up and down. She says, why do you need so many straws? So I was like, no explanation for a handbag full of straws. We went to the Satyam place. We had breakfast. And really those travels for conferences, traveling overnight, staying 2 or 3 days together, best possible memories you can have of Toastmasters, not just Chennai, but all the Toastmasters meetings in general. So I think that covers our memory trip. Zach, you have anything else?
Yeah, what I suggest is all the members, especially the new members who are not very familiar with the language, who is not a person like me. I said before and after Toastmasters, it's not difficult. All you have to do is you have to be committed. You have to attend the meetings regularly, participate. Don't worry what others think. What you think is the right. That is my message for the new members, especially those who have come from a different background.
Thank you.
Thank
Ranju,
you.
Abhilash, Ambirami, everyone for giving us this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhilash.
Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmasters, Nina John and Abraham Zakaria, for having taken us down that memory lane. It was indeed a wonderful 20 minutes, leaving us, wanting for more. Oh my God, can we have some more? So we'll definitely have one more session. I'm really hoping for that. Thank you so much once again. And with that, now, before we move on to the evaluation session, we have a small surprise which is not on the agenda as well. So, what is this surprise? Before that surprise, I need to spotlight a few persons so that we may put in that surprise to you all. So, give me just a minute.
I forgot, TM Nanda also is from Ruby Hall era. Yes. Sorry, Nanda.
Yes, yes.
Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, could you?
Oh, Lakshmi Narayana is also Ruby Hall era. Yes.
Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, are you there? I'm seeing him, but he's not responding. Yeah, he's yes. Great. All right. So it is now, time for us to launch our annual newsletter. So it is with really great pleasure that I have the honor of introducing the team behind the successful launch of the newsletter. So let's welcome Toastmaster Ratika, who's our editor-in-chief. Toastmaster Abhirami, who is our editor. Toastmaster Rajalakshmi, who couldn't join us today, but she's also an editor. And Toastmaster Lakshmi Narayana, who was the newsletter chairperson. Team, could we have the newsletter?
Yeah, okay.
So everyone, this is the annual newsletter of CTM. So the link and the PDF file will be shared in our groups. Have a happy reading. We are really happy for all the members who have helped contribute articles and have made it into a wonderful newsletter. Please do give in your suggestions, your comments and appreciations, whatever it may be, to the newsletter team. Here, I would actually like to thank our newsletter team led by Toastmaster Ratika, Lakshmi Narayana, Abhirami, and Rajalakshmi for having put in a stupendous work and having delivered this newsletter to all of us. Congratulations once again. Thank you so much, team.
Thank you. And Abhilash, I just want to specifically mention Ratika's effort for this newsletter. We all understand that, right? Though we started late, we have tried to meet the deadline, and she put in a very great effort. I don't know, it's not in a hurry, though it's in a hurry, we do in a hurry. She had a very quality job completing the perfect newsletter. So I really want to thank Ratika. I know everyone has contributed, but Ratika's effort is, we had to comment exclusively. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations,
And
Ratika.
I would like to thank the whole team for putting their efforts. The back end was really strong. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And so now, as we progress on, we move to the final session of our Toastmaster meeting. We are almost near the end of our journey. So let's now take a time to reflect on what all we had during this journey. And it is now time for our evaluation session. To conduct the evaluation session, we have Toastmaster Abhirami, who was the general evaluator for today. Let me hand over the screen to Toastmaster Abhirami. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhilash. Yes, as a ticket collector, I'm back on stage. Now it's time to introduce the second team who's going to support me in the evaluation process today. We have two strong evaluators who are here to evaluate the speeches given by the prepared speech segment speakers. So to start with evaluating the first speech given by Toastmaster Aishwarya, we have a senior Toastmaster, Toastmaster Venu. To tell a few words about him, Toastmaster Venu has been the past president of CTM, and presently he is the club coach of Downtown Speakers Forum. Also, in terms of his Toastmaster Education Awards, he has won the Advanced Communication Gold Award. And apart from his Toastmaster related activities, he's also a very good artist. With this, let me hand over the stage to Toastmaster Venu. Over to you.
Thank you, Central Evaluator. Good evening, one and all, and special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Aishwarya. I hope all the senior Toastmaster will agree with me. The foremost goal of any public speaking is to persuade or influence your audience. That's a very vital part in your public speaking. Because there are three stages you need to cross over to persuade your audience. The first one is to inspire, and next one is convince, and third one is call your audience to action. So what Toastmaster Aishwarya did today, let's see. Toastmaster Aishwarya, the way you open the speech is awesome. Why I'm saying that you open with the audio recording, that was very familiar to your audience, because whenever they are making call, they are hearing every day. So that that had close connection with your audience, thereby you hook your audience, and immediately you just reveal what you are going to talk about. So that made very clear to your audience what you are going to talk. about, and that made your audience to expect and visualize what you are going to talk. So next, you just talk about a lot of statistics and lot of information about the current pandemic that your audience also experiencing. That's why they can easily connect and they are being engaged throughout your speech. So inspired part, you take that. Then what about the convincing part? That's a very much important, because without convincing your audience, you can't ask them to call for an action. So that part we need to talk about. For convincing part, you need three things very important. The first one is the credibility and the level of your knowledge, the expertise. Who you are, first of all, to talk about this topic. Are you a physician? Are you a scientist? Or are you a research student about the COVID? Because that's a very important, because that make your audience question. If you are not any of these one, so on what basis you are giving this advice to your audience? That question as an audience, I will ask this. So that's the main point. For example, today the DTM Nina and DTM Zach deliver session. They conducted a session about the memory lane, because they are expert in the field. So we accepted whatever they said, even though most of the information we didn't know that, but we accepted the point. That's first thing. And next, it's about the burden of proof. In your speech, I found a lot of loose ends. Particularly, many people are not taking vaccination because they have the fear. Immediately after taking the vaccination, some people died, right? So whether you address that part, whether it is because of the vaccination or because of other issues, that part also you have touched. And next, some other points I would like to say that passes. Pauses means even let it be opening pauses or in between the pauses, you have added some pauses to make your speech so close to your audience, emotionally connect with your audience. For example, the moment you start your speech without giving any opening pauses, immediately you start that. So that pauses also you can take. And next, the last one is the micro non-verbal communication, because the credibility is much important for the persuasive speech. And downwards, that might that would have been avoided, because that will reduce your audience credibility. So overall, it's a good speech to make it as a persuasive.
Madam General Evaluator, can you take over?
Yes, Toastmaster Abhilash. Okay, so let's move on to the next evaluation, because, yeah. So next, to evaluate Toastmaster Deepak's speech on My Way, we have Toastmaster Vignesh. To say a few words about Toastmaster Vignesh, he's joined the club recently and he's a very active Toastmaster. In fact, he got the Best Newcomer Award for the last month. On the professional side, he is a hardware engineer who's working at Qualcomm Bangalore. With this, let me hand over the stage to Toastmaster Vignesh. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Abhirami, and special thanks to my target speaker, Toastmaster Deepak. I really appreciate it. It was really incendiary speech, and I congratulate you for completing your speech in a well manner. I felt like Toastmaster Deepak's speech structure was good. He started with a good beginning, saying the idiom, the piece of cake, and he explains the different types of communication styles. Even though those theory is familiar to many of the Toastmasters, I appreciate the way he shared each communication styles by his own life incident. So I really appreciate that. The way Toastmaster Deepak supported his colleague for email writing and customer handling, his analytical style come into picture, and his servant asked continuous leave. At that time, he applied the direct communication style. And during the team out and organizing, he applied that initiative communication styles. So finally, he ends up with his own quote: "Communication styles may vary, but attitude is important." Really, it was a wonderful speech, and I appreciate the incident collecting from your life experience and adding into that the communication styles. I really appreciate that. It's a close to you. And now about the improvement part, I felt like the speech was like a Kamal Hassan movie. I can see all the styles, but the primary goal is to find your own style. So I note that point. So every style is in your movie, but I need a specific primary style, and you can use some vocal variety. I felt like the voice was monotonous. Instead of saying 90% of time I'm supporting my colleague and teammates, you can say like 90% of my time I'm I'm supporting my colleague and teammates. 90% is a huge amount, so you can stress and put a vocal variety. I felt like that point. And yeah, that's all, and everything is perfect. I'm looking forward to hear more speeches from Toastmaster Deepak. Thank you. Over to Toastmaster Abhirami.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vignesh, for the wonderful evaluation. Just to add on, this is the first time Toastmaster Vignesh is doing his evaluations. Now, moving on to the next segment, I think we'll have the tag team giving their report. Let me call upon Timer Toastmaster Srijit to present his report.
Hello team, pleased to meet you all again. This would be my timer report for today's meeting. We had a very incendiary meet today with wonderful speakers and Abhilash with his never-ending surprises. So he kept me busy through the meeting with a lot of surprises. So I had to add new columns to this meet. So we had very good speakers today with very immaculate the timings. So we have most of the speakers have qualified except for one. We had a few speakers who tread very closely to the time limit, but it inspires new Toastmasters like me to admire how people stick to their timings. So we have all qualifications in all segments, and we have only one person who is not qualified, is Toastmaster Venu. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhiram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Srijit. Next, we'll have the report from our counter, Toastmaster Satyaraj. Over to you.
Thank you, General Elevator. Good evening, Toastmaster and guests. Now I will be support my counter report. Sajitrams and TT speaker Gita. So twice, hand twice, but one time. President speech Ranju, hand two times, so two times. TMOD Abhilash, so more than three times, and two times. General Elevator Abhirami, and one times, but one times. Timer Srijit, ha three times, but one times, so two times. Grammarian Rohit, and one times, so one time. Vritika, and one times, ha two times. Speaker Aishwarya, but one time, and more than three times, so two time. Evaluator Venu, and two times, ha one time, whom one time, so one time. Speaker Deepak, so more than three time, and more than three time. Evaluator Vignesh, and one time, ha two time, whom one time. TT Master Nanda, flawless. TT speaker, Toastmaster Mugil, ha more than three times, and two times, whom one time. TT speaker, Toastmaster Punit, and two times, ha one time, but one time. Guest Vivek, hum one time, ha two times, so two times, you know, more than three times. TT speaker Srikanth Kuttikrishna, so two times, under two times. TT speaker DTM Abraham, so one time, and one time, but one time. TT speaker guest Krishna Bhagat, but two times, under two times. TT speaker DTM Nina John, so two times, ha one time. TT speaker TTM Vardarajan, but two times, ha one times, and two times, so one time, you know, one time. Thank you. Over to you, General.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satyaraj. Next, we'll hear from our grammarian, Toastmaster Rohit. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohit.
Yeah, hi. Thanks. So today we, as Abhilash said, we started our meeting with a journey is more important than destination. And we had a huge buffet of idioms thanks to Toastmaster Vratika. So only I managed to note down some of them, like spill the beans, break a leg, steal the thunder, it's a wrap, and there were many more. Then Toastmaster Ashwarya used the alliteration tried and tested. Toastmaster Deepak used couple of idioms, a piece of cake, cup of tea, leave it apart. And distinguished Toastmaster Madam Nina John used mountain of a molehill. Then some other good usages like Srikant Kuttikrishnan used 11th hour. Distinguished Toastmaster Vardarajan used insidious, topsy-turvy. These were some of the good usages which I noted. I didn't notice any bad usage of English. In terms of the word of the day, Toastmaster Abhilash used it twice. Distinguished Toastmaster Nina John used it twice. Toastmaster Srijit used it once. Toastmaster Vratika used it once. Toastmaster Vignesh used it once. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohit. So now it's time to hear the General Evaluator's report. In the interest of time, let me keep it quite brief. So today we had all the role players dial in quite before and check their audio and video. And of course, the Sergeant at Arms did a great job by starting the meeting bang on time, sharp at 4. Our president did a wonderful job by taking time to remember our late DTM Janaki Prasad. And moving on to talk about the theme was very apt and we could all very well connect. And the way the team out connected the Hogwarts platform 93x4 to 777 was amazing. And he did a great job in terms of the introductions. Yes. And the icing on the cake for today's session, I would say, is the game session where I could see a lot of people switching on their video and answering. Suddenly the counts increase, the number of people on screen. And also the special session by our distinguished Toastmasters, Nina John Ma'am and this DTM Zach. It was very engaging. It was great to know our legacy of what we are part of and how privileged we are to be a part of a club where everything is bang on in terms of the procedures, that we need not do so much of hard work to learn things. And the TT session, Toastmaster Nanda, he did an amazing job in terms of bringing in very relatable topics where every time we heard the topic, there was a smile on the faces. Yes, so overall, it was a very wonderful meeting. In terms of things that we could improve on, yes, we need to, all the role players need to ensure that you have your audio checks done, audio and video check to avoid the last minute hiccups. That's one. The second, the number of people who are switching on the videos is definitely having an impact on the amount of involvement in the meeting. So initially it was 8 members, but when it went to table topics and the game session, I could see it could going up to 12 to 13 members are switching on the videos. So I think one thing is we all should try to be present during the meeting, try to do it wherever possible so that it's more interactive. In terms of the agenda can have the time fully specified. So the starting time is alone indicated in the case, for example, in the game session. It would be good if we could indicate it something like with a 10-minute session, you can say 6 to 10 minutes. That will help the timer to appropriately flash the flags and avoid confusion. And we could have more such game sessions, which is more engaging. Yeah, and one more thing is when we are announcing the qualified and disqualified, I think we should just go by announcing the qualified members and we need not state the names of members who are disqualified. With this, yes, it's overall an incendiary session on the CTM Express. Thank you. Over to you, Team Abhilash.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator, for having conducted that wonderful evaluation session. I'm sure we are all enriched than we were at the starting of the meeting by the insightful evaluations provided by your team of evaluators and our tag team. So thank you so much once again. Now we'll have a quick minute, request the Sergeant at Arms to launch the polls for the best speaker. So requesting everyone to vote, please. Thank you. Now let us have the next poll for the best TT speaker. Requesting everyone to vote quickly for the best table topic speaker, please. Thank you. The best role player, please. Thank you. Do we have any other polls or is that it? I think that is it. So thank you everyone. So it has indeed.
We have the tag team report.
Oh, tag polls. Thank you, ma'am. Could you launch it, please?
Yeah, I've launched it.
Great. So thank you everyone. So it has indeed been a very special meeting today for us, meeting 775. And I'm sure all of you enjoyed the meeting today as much as I did. I really thank everyone for this opportunity for having come along with me. And I do hope that each one of you will make memories here. CTM is such a club. It is not for nothing that we are known as the Lighthouse Club of Tamil Nadu. You look at a lighthouse, it is something which keeps on giving out its guidance and light to so many ships outside, without even receiving anything in return. So that is how CTM is as a lighthouse club. It has been giving out so much to so many members, producing so many leaders across the district. So I'm sure each of us will have something to take in with CTM. And on that note, I now hand over control back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranju.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Abhilash, for that wonderful and memorable meeting. Actually, we had many rounds of surprising sessions, as told by our timer, Toastmaster Srijit. So really wonderful. Also, I really congratulate the newsletter team once again for that amazing job. Actually, it's a very tedious task to actually collate and collect from all the members of the club and past members, whoever is associated with Chennai Toastmasters. So I would like all of you to just go through the newsletter and give the comments, just to justify the efforts which has been put by the team. So with this, I would now request our guests' feedback from the meeting. Can we have guest Vivek? Quickly, if you could share a few things about the meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmasters. And yeah, this was my first meeting, so it was a wonderful experience. The table topic really caught me by surprise, though. I wasn't quite prepared for it. I didn't understand the process that usually Toastmasters follow. So that was I thought I began well, and then somewhere I lost track about it. So yeah, that was a good experience, and it was well conducted. All the speakers were well prepared, and it was structured, it was organized, and I'm looking forward to more sessions, and looking forward to growing with the Toastmasters Club.
Thank you for joining us, guest Vivek. We would like to see you again in the future. Can we have feedback from guest Krishna, if you're available?
Yes, Ranju. Thanks to Abhilash for such a wonderful journey. First of all, I had a wonderful journey along with all the Toastmasters. It was very nice to see DTM Nina ma'am and Abraham sir talk about the history of the CTM. So it was such a good session, in fact, and the game was also wonderful. I learned a few idioms today, thanks to the Toastmasters.
Thank you for joining us, guest Krishna. I'd like to have you further. We have guest Akhilesh. Are you available? Akhilesh? Yeah, I think he is not available. Varadrajan sir, although you are like a very, you're always coming to CTM, but we'd like to hear from you since yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The only thing I wanted to say is I like the journey through history of CTM by two DTMs. One is I don't know how many DTMs she is going to achieve before, and she is going to make a Sachin Tendulkar record one day, Madam Nina John, and that's a big inspiration for all of us because CTM is an ATM for DTMs. That's a very big tagline, and that's an inspiration statement for many new members who join CTM because this is the place where you can really become a DTM. Whether you are inside the club or outside the club, you still contribute to the society. And when Nina John ma'am took my name, I was so thrilled that I really reflected in me that I did something in Toastmasters during my Toastmasters journey. So that was so refreshing. So I was so elated. I was so elated, and I must thank Nina John for having taken that effort to have given that privilege to me. Thank you very much, Nina John ma'am. And I thoroughly enjoyed today's session. A lot of variety. Always in a 2 hours CTM meeting, a lot of things are packed, and it's a packed full of enjoyment, fun, learning, and more every time. So that's the reason I keep attending your meetings. So you don't be afraid that I keep coming to your meetings. Yeah, I really get attracted. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us today. So with this, now I would like to move to the results for this wonderful meeting of today. So our best timer counter grammarian for today goes to our timer for the day, Toastmaster Srijit. A big round of applause. You can unmute yourself and give a big round of applause to the winners. Best role player for today goes to our general evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Abhirami. Best evaluator for today goes to Toastmaster Vignesh. Best TT speaker for the day goes to distinguished Toastmaster Nina John. And the best speaker for the day goes to Toastmaster Aishwarya. Congratulations.
The TT speaker winner is a standard operating procedure because if DTM Nina John is there, I think everyone must take it for granted.
Oh, not
She's
at
such
all.
a wonderful speaker. Yeah, she's such a
Thank
wonderful
you, but I don't take the ribbons for granted. Last week I didn't get it. Last week somebody else got best.
Yeah, CTM you cannot take it for granted. I know.
Exactly. That is the
Congratulations.
joy of CTM. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, all winners. With this, now I would like to formally adjourn the meeting number 775. We would meet next Sunday for meeting number 776, 4 to 6 p.m. Until then, goodbye, everyone, and stay home, stay safe. We would now move